An important part of any class is getting feedback from the instructor. Without it, you're teaching yourself. Maybe fine, maybe not. I want to make sure that everybody knows where all the feedback is and is taking full advantage of it, because I spend a lot of time writing it. First of all, there's feedback that I give to the entire class. I think everybody should know about that, although I'm not sure everybody's reading it as carefully as you might. Each week, you see this feedback heading, and under it there's a link either to a book or a page. This one's a book. Click on that, and this gives you some thoughts that I had after looking at what people had said on assignments the previous week. This one, for instance, clarifies what analogies are good for. Remember that an analogy can happen whether organisms are related or not, and therefore they don't give you any information about whether a phylogenetic hypothesis is correct or not, typically. They're inconclusive. That's an important point. If you were making mistakes about that, then you read this in the feedback, you could stop making those mistakes. If you don't read the feedback carefully, you keep making the same mistakes. Not good. Most of you are seeing this, but there's another kind of feedback that you may be missing out on, and that's feedback on individual assignments for individual students. If you want to see that, well, one way to get to it, suppose you look at your grades. I'm betting you do. So let's see. Here we look at the grades. This is I'm logged in as Bill Aardvark. Bill is a student in the class who is a fake student. But here's Bill looking at his grades, and as I look down here, you can see the assignments that you've completed. They show up as blue. Let's take Invertebrate Larvae Part 2 Prototroch. I notice here, it's been graded. I got 1 out of a possible 11 points, 9.1%, as Bill Aardvark there. That's not too good. You should be saying to yourself, Bill, what went wrong? Click on the assignment. If you click on that link, it takes you back to the assignment, and here you can see a link that says Review. See, here's the final grades, 1 out of 11. Review. Okay, now it shows you the quiz again. And here it shows you the first question. We know that in the trochophore larvae, all 5 of the organisms up here, the prototroch came from the same developmental origin, cells 1A through 1D here. Does this suggest that the prototroch is a homology or an analogy? Explain your reasoning. Here's your answer, Bill. Bill says, since they all use them for the same thing, I think it's an analogy. Well, here's what I say to that. Here's my comment. My comment to Bill, I say, you don't decide whether it's analogy or homology based on whether the structure has the same function. You have to decide if the similarity is necessary for the function. And that's an important point. I've made it other places in the class, in the feedback and so on. But Bill was missing that, and here's a chance for Bill to catch up on this. So it's really important to read those follow-ups. In general, any question where you missed some points, notice Bill got 0 out of a possible 2. Almost any time that you have a question where you didn't get full credit, you're going to find that I wrote a comment on that question explaining to you why I took off points. Really important to read those. Please get in the habit of doing so if you're not already.